All right, can you see the PDF file? Can you see the PDF file?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's discuss. So yesterday we discussed about the TRV, the basic concept about TRV. Then we also discussed about this how this TRV actually tries to restrict the electric arc after the clearance of the fault. Okay, this is very significant. TRV actually creates the problem for you during the fault interruption, not before fault interruption. It actually creates problem whenever you done all the processing, whenever you are done with the fault clearing steps. After that, the TRV comes and it creates problem for you. Okay, so we will discuss some more details things about TRV. Let us begin with effect of natural frequency of TRV. Like I said, the TRV has two types of component in its frequency spectrum. One is power frequency component, that is related to the supply frequency. If your power system has 50 hertz generation, then obviously it will the TRV frequency will contain a part which is exactly equal to 50 hertz or 60 hertz in case of 60 hertz generation. Okay, but another more significant is that the oscillatory frequency component, or that is called as oscillatory frequency or natural frequency of the TRV. So the equation was like this. If you can recall from your previous class, Fn is equals to 1 divided by twice by root over of LC, isn't it? So this is the equation of the natural frequency of the TRV. Now, what happens if this natural frequency is very high, or what happens if this natural frequency is very small in case of TRV? Look, after the fault clearing process, TRV is a compulsory thing that will appear. You cannot neglect the TRV. All right, it cannot neglect the TRV. Now we want to learn about the effects of this variation of TRV frequency or natural frequency of the TRV. That also, all right, sir, it's like that. Okay, TRV will come, but what happens if the frequency of the TRV becomes small, or what happens if the frequency of the TRV becomes very high? So these are the things we are going to discuss here. First of all, before I do that, let me ask you two basic questions. This is to voltage signal is given here. Okay, now tell me, uh, what about the frequency of these two signal? What is the condition of frequency here? Is it very high or is it very low? Or what happens here? Is it very high or is it very low? Tell me which voltage signal has higher frequency, which one has lower frequency?
The last is high frequency.
The right side one is higher frequency, right?
Yeah.
Left side is smaller frequency. You can obviously guess it from there. Frequency is equals to 1 divided by fundamental time period. So as the time is larger over here, so that means frequency will be smaller. As the time is smaller over here, so the frequency will be higher. All right, now if you take a closer look to reach the time to its maximum value, the signal is reaching maximum value, right? So the time taken by this portion to reach maximum value and time taken by this portion is obviously differ from one another. You can simply say that it is slowly increasing than the comparing with this one, the right side figure. Okay, here the increasing is little bit fast due to the high frequency effect. The rate of rise of this signal is little bit higher than the rate of rise of this signal. Can we say that? Because it is taking much longer time than this voltage signal to reach its maximum value. So obviously, if you compare it with the rate of rise, as the time taken in this case is higher, so that means the rate of rise will be a little bit smaller or lower. Okay, but here As time taken to reach its maximum value is very small, the rate will be very high. So in summary, we can simply say like that: if any signal has smaller frequency, that means rate of rise of that particular signal is low. All right. But if any signal has higher frequency, the rate of rise of that signal is high. All right. Now, why we want to actually discuss those things? If you recall some of my lectures from previous class, I discussed you like this, that whether this TRV will restrike or not. The tendency of this TRV is obviously to restrike the electric arc that you have extinguished a little bit earlier. Now, whether this TRV will be able to restrict the electric or not, it depends on two parameters. One is the rate of rise of TRV, another is the rate of dielectric material. Let's say rate of dielectric. Okay. Now, among these two, if the rate of rise of TRV, if this rate of rise of TRV, that means this portion, this increasing slope, if this rate of rise of TRV is larger than the rate of rise of dielectric strength, then obviously TRV will restrike. Okay. Now, if this rate of rise of TRV is smaller than the rate of rise of dielectric strength, then definitely TRV will not create any problem for you, rather than it will vanish within a very small time and returning the circuit to a original open one and having a normal power frequency voltage component across the contact space of the circuit breaker. Okay. Now you see this rate of rise of TRV has directly associated with the natural frequency of the TRV. Now whenever TRV comes, then we assess that what type of frequency does the TRV has. If the TRV has a very high frequency component, then obviously you will have to understand the rate of rise of that particular TRV will be very high, and that high rate of rise of TRV will definitely try to restrike the electric arc, or it's a huge chance that this high rate of rise of TRV will be able to restrike the electric arc again. But in contrary, if the opposite happens like that, for example, TRV appears, but the frequency of the TRV is very small or very low, so it will indicate that this rate of rise of TRV will be lower in this case. Okay. So if the rate of rise of TRV becomes smaller, then it's a chance that TRV will not be able to restrike, and your circuit breaker will able to complete the fault interruption process. Okay. Have you understood this? So higher the frequency of the TRV means more probability of restriking of the electric arc after the fault clearance, and lower the TRV means actually it has lower probability of restriking the electric arc. Okay. Do you have any question, guys? Do you have any question? Guys, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay, there is another issue with this associated, that the increasing of the frequency result in decreasing the breaking capacity of the contact of the circuit breaker. That means if the frequency of the TRV is very high, so the associated breaking capacity of the circuit breaker contacts will be decayed. Okay, so this is another risky parameter for the circuit breaker itself. How? Let me clear you one thing. Let me give an example. For example, a voltage short circuit fault here will produce a short circuit capacity of 50 MVA. Just for example, it actually indicates that due to this voltage short circuit fault here, a 50 MVA power rated fault current will flow there. So that means the contact space of the circuit breaker should have to have the breaking capacity higher than 50 MVA. Okay, so let's see that during the selection of the circuit breaker, by assessing this SCC is equals to 50 MVA, we have choose the breaking capacity of this circuit breaker is above 50 MVA, which is 60 MVA. Let us choose. Okay. So the circuit breaker, so that the purpose is simply is that breaking capacity should be little bit higher than the fault level, uh, as we do not want to destroy the circuit breaker during any circumstances. Okay. Now, as I said, that if the frequency of the TRV is become very high, then the breaking capacity will be reduced. Okay. That means though you have connected or though you have bought a 60 MVA breaking capacity, but due to this high frequency TRV, the circuit breaker will experience its breaking capacity less than the original one. Let's say 30 MVA. Okay. Let's say due to this high frequency, the breaking capacity of the circuit breaker is also reduced. Okay. Now what happens here? Look, fault happens. Short circuit power level is 50 MVA. Your breaking capacity should have breaking capacity of the circuit breaker should have been larger than the 50 MVA, but due to this natural frequency, the breaking capacity is reduced to 30 MVA. So what will happen then? It's a high probability that the contact of this circuit breaker will be completely destroyed, because it doesn't have any capability to handle 50 MVA power now. It can only handle up to 30 MVA. So why this is happened? This is happened due to the presence of very high frequency component in the TRV waveform. Okay, got it? So there are two consequences of effect of natural frequency of TRV. The first one is that for increasing in the TRV frequency or increasing in the natural frequency of the TRV, the probability of restriking the electric arc increases. This is number one. Second one is that with the increase in the frequency of the TRV, the breaking capacity of the circuit breaker or associated circuit breaker reduced, which actually may cause the damage of the circuit breaker contact. Okay. So what can we do? We have to take some precautions, like we cannot ignore TRV, can we? One thing is very clear, we cannot ignore TRV. TRV is something evident that will come once you go for the fault clearing process, except for vacuum circuit breaker. All right, except for vacuum circuit breaker. Why it is that I will discuss. But apart from the vacuum circuit breaker, the fault interruption process in all among the circuit breakers will actually produce a transient recovery voltage after the fault clearance, and this transient frequency voltage will definitely create a problem for you during the fault interruption process. Okay, now as we are quite aware that we cannot ignore TRV, what we can do, what are the policies we can do? Look, the main problem that is created is due to the high frequency of the TRV. So somehow, if you can control this frequency of the TRV, like if you can reduce the frequency, then eventually the probability of restriking is becomes less. Not even that, the breaking capacity of the circuit breaker is remaining close to the original rated value that you have bought. So two evident advantage that we are going to get if we can control the TRV frequency, or if we can reduce the TRV frequency to a very low value. All right. How this can be done, we'll discuss in a section. Do you have any question? Guys, do you have any question? Do you have any question?
Maybe no, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, wait for 3-4 minutes. I'm going to take a break, then I'll come back again. Okay, let us continue. So let us discuss about the effect of power factor on TRV. I think you guys know about power factor, isn't it? Do you know what
Yes,
is power factor? What are the impacts of power factor?
the angle of current and voltage between current and voltage.
That's it. Any other one want to say about power factor? What is power factor? If you say the power factor is simply the angle between voltage and current, that is incorrect. Actually, the power factor is the cosine value of the phase difference between voltage and current. So you have to say that cosine value, right?
Yes, sir.
So if this is voltage, if this is current, and if this is phase angle, then power factor will be simply cos of phi. Right. So now you already have studied many things about power factor. You know the power factor has some relationship with the system reactive power, real power, then the conductor size, then the machine current flow. Uh, these are the things directly associated with the power factor. So we know these things. So these are the um, uh, uh, normal steady characteristics of power factor into the system. Now, what is the impact of this power factor on the TRV? Let us discuss on those parameters. Okay, because as we know that we normally try to get the power factor or keep the power factor as high as possible for the power system, so that the reactive power values become less, real power values become more, and so that we can use much more real power over there. Okay, now this power factor is also have some very good impact during the fault clearing processes, especially on the TFG. Okay, how it is that? Let us analyze this. Now, the power factor value can be from 0 to 1. There can be thousands of numbers of power factor in between these two ranges, 0 and 1. Obviously, we do not want to analyze each and every possible power factor over there. Rather than we can test like this in a range, we can test a minimum and the maximum. We can observe that if the power factor becomes minimized or very small, then what happens? And if the power factor becomes very high, then what happens? All right, understood? Got it?
Yes, sir.
So we start from the unity power factor. We want to see that what happens to the unity power factor. So this is unity power factor. Look, this is the system voltage. This is the system voltage. Okay. So here power factor will be indicated from the relationship between system voltage and arc current. By default, uh, this is arc voltage. This one is arc voltage. You can see by default arc current and arc voltage will be always in same. So if you want to show this arc voltage with this power factor things, you can show it. If you can neglect these things from the figure, you also can do that. Okay, let us finish the Azan first. Okay, so like I said, that this arc voltage figure is quite unnecessary for the analysis. You can keep it, you can neglect it. But if you can keep it, remember one thing: this arc voltage will be always increase with the arc current. Now, for the unity power factor means cosine of phi is equals to 1. Okay, so which actually indicates that phi is equals to 0 degree. Only then cos phi will be 1. So phi 0 degree means the system voltage and arc current are actually in phase. You see, they have started from the same phase. All right. So the voltage is carrying out as well as the current is flowing, and we know that the when the current reaches to 0, we will extinguish the electric arc. Okay. So let's take an example. This is the arc extinction point, or this is that 0 point where we'll try to extinguish the electric arc. Okay. Now look at here. Due to the in phase structure, when the current is 0, the corresponding associated system voltage is also 0. So if the situation arrives like this, then if you interrupt at this point, then it will not produce any TRV over here, because the magnitude of the TRV is associated with the system voltage. In fact, it is maximum value can be 2 into EM. EM is the peak point of the system voltage. Now, due to this in phase structure, as the current is 0, the voltage is also 0 there. So there will be a TRV which has 0 voltage magnitude. So eventually that means that there will be no TRV at all. All right. So under, if your power system is at unity power factor, or if your power system is operating at unity power factor, then there will be no TRV across this after this arc interruption process. Okay. Have you got this? Guys, have you got
Yes.
it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us discuss. Okay, now let us take the consideration of 0 power factor. 0 power factor means theta will be 90 degree. Okay, that means the voltage and current will have a 90 degree phase difference. Okay, let's say this is my 90 degree, though it is slightly greater than 90 degree, but let's take an example. This is 90 degree, and again I say that our current or our voltage is same. So you see, the current is flowing. Let's say this is my arc interruption point. This is my arc interruption point, or this is the 0 point where I want to interrupt the electric arc. Now, due to the 90 degree phase difference, where the current is 0, the voltage is in fact, system voltage is in fact maximum. And due to this maximum system voltage, a very high magnitude TRV will appear here. As the magnitude of the TRV is depending on the magnitude of the voltage waveform. So as the voltage waveform has a maximum value over here, so the TRV will also have a maximum value over there. Okay. Understood? So by analyzing these two effects, one thing that we can summary like that at unity power factor, we do not have any problem of generating the transient recovery voltage or TRV. Okay, but if you talk about 0 power factor, then due to the phase difference between voltage and currents, obviously there is a high chance that a high magnitude TRV will appear there, and eventually this high magnitude TRV will restrike the electric arc. That means it will bring back the electric arc that you have extinguished just a little bit earlier. Have you got it point? So in practical case, the neither the power factor in a power system can be 0, or neither it can be 1. Okay, so what it can be? It can be either very close to 1, or it can be very deviated from 1. So close to 1, that means we indicate that as a high power factor, and deviated larger portion from 1 actually indicates that's a poor or lower power factor. Okay, so as you can see from the discussions, that if your power system has higher power factor, that means the fault interruption process will be little bit easy over there. How it will be easy? because there is less chance of creation of larger magnitude TRV. But that doesn't happen in case of lower power factor. If you look about lower power factor, it's a chance that very high magnitude TRV will appear there, and this high magnitude TRV will definitely has higher probability in striking the electric arc. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir. But sir, একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল।
হ্যাঁ বলো।
স্যার এই যে এখানে যে স্যার পাওয়ার ফ্যাক্টরের সাথে টিআরবির কোনো রিলেশন কোনো ইকুয়েশন আছে স্যার?
না, ইকুয়েশন
তাহলে স্যার এখানে যে যখন আমার আর্ক ভোল্টেজ এবং স্যার টিআরবিটা হয়েছে, এখানে যেটা 90 ডিগ্রি অ্যাঙ্গেলের সাথে পাওয়ার ফ্যাক্টরের সাথে কিভাবে স্যার মানে জিরো যখন হয়েছে তখন বেশি কিভাবে হয়েছে
90
এটা
ডিগ্রি
একটু
ডিফারেন্স
যদি।
মানে কি? 90 ডিগ্রি ভোল্টেজ এবং কারেন্ট ওয়েভ ফ্রম 90 ডিগ্রি আঁকো। ভোল্টেজ এবং কারেন্ট 90 ডিগ্রি আঁকো। এটা ভোল্টেজ, এটা ধরো কারেন্ট, এই ভোল্টেজ চলতেছে, এই ভোল্টেজ চলতেছে, এই কারেন্ট চলতেছে।
স্যার আমার কোশ্চেনটা এরকম যে পাওয়ার ফ্যাক্টর যখন জিরো তখন
পাওয়ার
টিআরবি
ফ্যাক্টর
হাই
জিরো না,
কেন?
পাওয়ার ফ্যাক্টর জিরো কোথায়? পাওয়ার ফ্যাক্টর জিরো মানে কি? ফেজ ডিফারেন্স কত?
90।
90 ডিগ্রি। তো 90 ডিগ্রি ফেজ ডিফারেন্স হওয়ার কারণে দেখো যেখানে কারেন্টের পরিমাণটা সবচেয়ে কম সেখানে ভোল্টেজের পরিমাণটা কি সবচেয়ে বেশি
সবচেয়ে
না?
বেশি।
এই
জি
সবচেয়ে
স্যার।
বেশি ম্যাগনিটিউডের ভোল্টেজটা সবচেয়ে বেশি ম্যাগনিটিউডের টিআরবি এখানে তৈরি করবে।
ও আচ্ছা স্যার, বুঝতে পারছি।
Anyone else? Do you have any question? Guys, do you have any question?
No, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
If you have any question, then I will continue. If you do not, then I will end today. Do you have any question?
No, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
So all right then, we'll continue from the next class, inshallah. Okay. Read these topics carefully at your home so that you have some better understandings. And if you have any question, you can go for the question. I will happy to answer. Okay. See you in the next class, inshallah.